Well, we have quite a bit of catching up to do. I thought I would get you up to speed on what our life has been since this summer. I'm sorry I have such a raspy voice, and I've got my mug of hot tea and I'll sip on it. It's a combination of chai and I think raspberry pomegranate. Anyway, it smells wonderful, but it's scalding hot, so I'll give it a minute. Ragweed, allergies, all the things. But we made a purchase this summer of a home in Kentucky. We were not looking for a place. We weren't planning this at all, but it showed itself, and we just feel incredibly fortunate to have been able to acquire this property. It is a 1911 Victorian farmhouse. But on that property, there's also a log cabin, and there is what we're calling the guest house. Those two structures were newer, built in the early 2000s, I guess, 2005, something like that. And what we're calling the guest house had been used in its former life as a workshop. So it wasn't really finished out as a house. So we're doing some work on that. The log cabin will most likely be my studio. We've got some ideas and things floating around for that. We've thought of putting our farm table in there and having family gatherings. There's also what I'm calling the garden shed. I think it was referred to as the wash house, but I'm not sure. But anyway, these three structures were on this property of almost 2 acres in Ohio County, Kentucky, which is where my mother began her teaching career back in the late 50s, and where my dad had his first pastorate. He was in seminary, and they were newlyweds, and so it feels like it's come full circle. It is also, as some of you know, I attend events at Ben Ashby's farmhouse there in Kentucky. And you've seen, maybe if you follow me on Instagram or any other social media, you've seen snippets from there, videos and things and photos. And so he's just a mile down the road. So we are incredibly excited for all the possibilities, collaborations, just being there in that county that is so familiar to my family and like going home. So I wanted to start this series on our YouTube channel, and I thought, well, I've already been sharing so much on Instagram, if you follow me there, so I didn't want to just post the video that I filmed today, and then you're like, what is going on? What is this place? So we made a trip up there. We've been making trips since summer when we closed on the project, even actually before. We've had the mowers coming. We've had pressure washing done on one of the buildings. We've had, kind of piecemeal work. And so we've done a lot of cleanup. And so I was hesitant to show that part of it, that those early images were pretty scary. and part of us that we didn't want our family to see for a while, like they will think we've lost our minds. What have we taken on? What were we thinking? But as we have been able to do some clean out, a lot of clean out, and start seeing the bones and seeing how much room it is and what the possibilities are, we've been over the moon. So today we took a trip there, went by Kentucky Lumber, which, my goodness, I could do a whole story on that shop. It was beautiful. It's like a museum, and the history of that building and how they've renovated it, and it was such inspiration. And so when I see these projects, and I see the before pictures, and I see the after, our project is nothing. I think we're going to be all right. I'm checking, it's still hot. So, without you having seen a lot of the before, I might, as I get better at filming and clipping and splicing and doing all the things, I might be able to slip in some more of those early videos and early images so that you can see. But for now, I hope you'll enjoy this little segment of me telling about the beaded board we found, the samples we picked up today, and we'll be using them throughout the house. Also, we will be painting it all white. So it will be, so when you see this, those little samples of the tongue and groove, the poplar, just imagine it all painted white. It is what we're going for, what the pieces that we're finding, the old stoves, the old farm sinks. It's very reminiscent of my grandparents' farmhouse in Kentucky. The things that I remember about it from being a little girl and visiting there. And so that's the feel, that's what I want to replicate, that feeling. So it won't be what we see a lot of farmhouse redos and renovations, and those are all beautiful. But this is going to be very much home, comfort, just real. So I hope you'll stay with us and see and catch our vision of what we want it to be, and what we want someone that would come to visit, what they would feel, that hug of, this takes me back. Oh my, this is like, you know, the quilts and the kitchen table, sitting there drinking a cup of coffee, and that feel of home, of maybe your grandparents' home. And even though we are grandparents, you know, I still feel like a little girl thinking back on those times and those visits. The other thing I wanted to share, I had someone that had asked when I posted some videos from today on Instagram, they were asking about my journal. And this is Chic Sparrow is where I got this, and she has she's on Instagram there. You can follow her there. But it's a travel journal. So I just took a moleskin, or just craft paper moleskin journals. I'm sorry, I keep sniffling. And I have one that was just for planning. I have one that is the to-do list for home, which wound up being my to-do list for this new home place, which I don't know, we're calling it the home place because I don't want to say the property. We're going up to the property. That just sounds so cold. So we're calling it the home place. It will still be, we'll have Rosewater Cottage Studio, and we're thinking we'll call the main house Rosewater Cottage, but it is larger than a cottage. It's a farmhouse, so we're still debating. So just, we'll let you know as we decide things. But anyway, this section of the notebook, I have my morning glory seeds. I'm all ready. I have made lists and lists and lists, and this is what this is good for. It's all the lists, all the things that I want to remember about each structure, each building. And then I did a floor plan, or just mapped, you know, each room, like the kitchen, the living room, the laundry room, the bathroom. And then I could take measurements, and not just for the beaded board that we're getting the tongue and groove, but also for like a piece of furniture. Will that fit in this space? And when I'm thinking in my mind where I'm gonna put the hall tree, where I think it'll go, is that gonna fit there? So that's what all this scribbling and making notes. And so we were just downstairs having to decipher all this and do a lot of math. And thank goodness my husband I could just read him off numbers, and then he could, you know, do all the sorting of all that. So that's what we've done today. So I'm hoping this will just be the first of many of our updates on our project, and so that you can follow along. And we'll also be adding in, you know, of course I have my storybook characters, and all of Really Aubert's things went, her bed and her rocker and her trunks, they all went to the log cabin today. And they're waiting there for her. Our granddaughter thought she said, you're gonna leave her there and she'll be all by herself? And I said, no, she's gonna stay here with us. Anyway, we're moving little bits at a time, little extra pieces of furniture, a big French wire laundry basket, because there's a laundry chute. She is so excited. From her bedroom, she can toss her laundry down the chute and it will land in the big French wire laundry basket. So lots of fun things. I'll have my quilting. I'll be showing things. So I hope what you'll find here is just a plethora of comfort and hominess and joy. And I hope you have a good evening, and that you find your cup of hot tea to sit and watch the rest of this clip. Have a great evening and take care. Until next time. Hi, I am in my favorite, one of my favorite parts of the house. This is the little porch off the kitchen, and I love the windows. I love everything about this. I love the beaded board. It's a mess right now, but we have so many visions for this, so many plans. So our task for today was to come out, and we'd stopped by Kentucky Lumber in Allentown, Kentucky, which is just like a field trip in itself. It's like a museum. And we picked up some samples of the tongue and groove. It's poplar wood, tongue and groove. We're gonna do the whole house, like the whole downstairs, kitchen, living room, entryway, everything will be this tongue and groove. It's like beaded board, like what they had what they used to have. So we had to come and take measurements. And so I have my little notebook that y'all see me every now and then. And I have a section, and what I did was I just drew a floor plan of each room. And then I can take measurements, scribble. So the measurements, also we're gonna do this on the ceiling. So we had to measure the length of the floor and the width, or the length and width of the rooms. And so kind of have an estimate of how much lumber we need to order. So that was the task for today. We also stopped and had lunch at Ben Ashby's and had a great, oh my gosh, it was so good. But we have, it's raining, and so each day is full. Each time we come up here, we think we have this long list of things that we want to get done, and then we get like a fraction of it. But there've been a lot of important things we've been able to do. Tim has met with the heating and air folks, and they're working up bids for each of the 3 structures. So we have the log house, log cabin, and we have the guest house, and then we have the main house. And so we needed to figure out what we're going to do with those. So he met with those folks. He's also met with a couple of roofing companies, because the last time the roof was put on was in 1986, and it has held up fairly well considering. So we're looking at some bids on those. And so there's just a lot of work. He did a lot of clean out this week on the guest house, and putting in a shower stall. And so there's just so much that when we were thinking, oh, we need to sell our house and get right up here right away, it has worked out that hasn't actually happened so fast, because the more we've gotten into it, there's such a massive amount of work to do. As some of you who have done renovations or restorations, you get into it and you're like, oh, there's that. So fun surprises. But it's all doable. We're still encouraged. We're excited to see the leaves, the maple trees. Oh my gosh. I'll take some snippet videos of the trees in all their glory. But I just wanted to catch you up to date on what's going on our little piece of heaven here in Kentucky. And I'll talk to you next time. Have a great day.